Right here I've got the Yamaha Tenere 700 Quick Shifter Kit. We're going to be showing you how to install this today on your 2024 and newer T7. Now what the kit does, it allows you to shift up through the gears without using your clutch, as long as you're above 2,000 RPM and going over 12 miles an hour. This is a cool little upgrade. It's plug and play. It's simple to install. Let's go ahead and get started. So right here we have everything that comes in the kit. Essentially you are replacing your shift rod and adding a switch to that. It's going to tell the ECU when you're shifting. So that's the kit. As far as tools go, I have two 10mm combo wrenches, an 11 4mm Allen, 8mm T-handle, and I've got a metric ruler. We're in the shop, so we've got safety glasses, a little bit of thread lock, and some grease. If you need any of this stuff, these parts, grease or thread lock, you can find that stuff on our website. Just click the link in the description below. First thing we want to do is take a look at the shift rod that's currently on here. So we're going to take a measurement. I'm going to pop this little rubber cover back and measure from the center of this bolt to the top of the nut down here. And this just relates to the height of your shift lever now. So you always have a reference to go back to if you change that. So we are 249 millimeters. The kit actually calls for it to be at 245. But like I said, that's just a reference point. We can go right back to it when we assemble that new shift rod. So from here, what we're going to do is remove this shift rod along with this cover right here. We're starting with the 4mm Allen at the top. Loosen that up. There is Loctite on it. There's a little collar right behind it. You're not going to reuse this bolt or the collar. And I've got my 11 and 10. Break the nuts loose. And then on this bottom one, keep in mind this is reverse thread. So righty loosey, lefty tighty. So to back that off, if I'm looking straight down at it, I'm going clockwise. Then the 8mm T to remove these 3 bolts in the cover. Then you just have one grommet that you need to release this from in the front. And then you've got a few tabs in the back that this goes in. So on the bottom of that stock push rod or shift rod, we're going to remove that nut. Again, this is reverse thread, and we're going to put that on our new shift rod. Just going to back it all the way up. If you get confused with these nuts, this one has the L on it. The kit came with a 3rd nut. That's going to go on the bottom of the switch. Thread that up. And then this push rod, we're going to thread onto that switch. And you're going to want to have 12 millimeters of distance between the bottom of the switch and the top of that nut when it sits against this push rod right here. So we're going to use our ruler to measure that out. And we're actually pretty close to 12 right there. I'm going to call that good. You're going to be using both 10mm combo wrenches for this step. Now for the top, I'm going to unthread this eyelet from the push rod. We'll remove this nut. And then we have this new eyelet. I'm going to put the rubber boot on that. Thread this up as far as it can go. And then I'm going to thread this in until it bottoms out and then back it off about 3 turns. So I'm bottomed out right there. So 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do the same thing for that bottom eyelet. So we're threaded all the way in, back it out 3 turns. Two, 3 turns right there. You want this wire to be facing forward so we can go either way, in or out. I'm just backing it out an extra half turn. But counting those is going to get you pretty close to that 245 measurement. You will have to make some adjustment. I want to add just a little bit of grease to the spherical bearing. It's completely dry right now. The one we took off had some grease on it. This step is not absolutely necessary, but it's not a bad idea. Now we've got this longer bolt in the kit. I'm going to apply just a little bit of Loctite at the end. Then we are going through the eyelet. We've got the new spacer. It's a little bit longer than that stock one. And then I'm going to thread this bolt in, but I'm only going a few threads right now. And this is where you want to take your measurement. So leaving this bolt out is going to allow you to be able to spin this whole push rod assembly and adjust. You can see this lever. It's going to go down or up. So you can get on the bike, adjust it where you want it, or you can take that measurement. So I think we're going to go right to 245 where the instructions recommend. And again, measurement is going to be to the top of this nut right here when it's sitting against this eyelet. So we're going to bring the whole situation up. Going to go out one turn, and that's as close to 245 as we can get. So I'm going to tighten down that Allen bolt. That's going to be 7.4 foot-pounds if you want to torque it. So right there, and I'm going to pull up the rubber boot. Then we need to tighten the lock nuts, and when you do that, you want to hold each piece still and have the eyelet centered up so everything can swivel if it needs to. So we'll start here at the bottom. Middle is already tight, so we'll go up to the top. Next step is to route the wire, so it's going to run right across this linkage right here. Then we're going to go straight back to an existing wiring harness running back to this gray connector. So that connector has a little tab. You can press on it with your finger, or I do like to use a small flat blade screwdriver. Pop that up and then choose your best routing, however you want to get this done. Just going to go straight down onto it. Clip that in, and then we're going to tie everything down. So right here, right where that blue tape is, we'll take that supplied zip tie. And we also have a plastic connector. It's going to go around your spacer. So going across the top right here. So we are all the way on. And then going down the harness, we can use existing ties or existing holders. So I'm going to use my flat blade screwdriver to pop this one apart and put this wire underneath there. And then I'm actually going to reroute this just a little bit. I don't know that we're going to be able to use any of these ties back here. So this should hold it pretty good, but if you want to put an additional zip tie, go ahead and do that. And trim that zip tie. So now we can go ahead and reinstall our side cover. And I do want to point out the black bolt did have Loctite on it. So if you want to put some on, go ahead and do that. We'll reinstall those bolts. Now to set up the electronics, all we need to do is pull up on the shift lever, and you need to pull kind of hard. So past that point where it just clicks into gear, just a little bit further, hold it there, turn your key on, count to 10. And after you've held it for 10 seconds, you can lower that back down and push it down into first, and the quick shifter symbol should flash up on your screen. that's it for installing the Quick Shifter Kit on your Yamaha Tenere 700. This is gonna make your bike more fun to ride. You can slam through the gears, you're gonna have quicker acceleration, and you can be lazy. You don't have to use the clutch. So again, this is a really cool accessory that's easy to install. If you need one of these, you can find them on our website. Just click the link in the description below. We've got a lot of other content on these T7s, so go check that out and subscribe to our channel. I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Thanks for watching.